Hello everyone, welcome to Cyblock Entertainment and to my ranking of all Little Nightmares 2 levels. Recently played the game, did it on a live stream actually on Twitch, and it was so good. I've been obsessed with this game for the last week now, picking up all the theories, all the Easter eggs, and highly recommend you play it if you like horror games or just platformer games. But now it's time for me to rank all 5 of the chapters from worst to best. Now, all the chapters were great, but there was definitely more standout ones, so let's just start the list, and this will definitely not be the last Little Nightmares 2 video, so with that said, let's get on with it. So number 5 is the worst chapter in the game, the Signal Tower. Now, when I say worst, I do not mean it is a bad chapter or wasn't fun, just it wasn't as good as the other ones, and the Signal Tower is the final chapter in the game and also the shortest. The inside of the Signal Tower looks amazing, as does the rest of the game, and you really have no idea what's going on in here, as there seem to be some low or no gravity and doors that lead to nowhere. The gameplay here involves some very light puzzle solving with the music box and going through the right door, an interesting boss fight that can be sometimes annoying due to the way combat is in this game, and then a final chase at the end. Apart from the ending, the level isn't too memorable, and while it's definitely a good final level, there's nothing stand out about it in terms of gameplay, and it will probably be the least memorable chapter by fans apart from obviously the ending. And number 4 is the Wilderness. This is the first chapter in the game and does a great job of being a tutorial for the game. It's also the most different looking location in the game since it is not set in the Pale City, but instead on an island in the woods. And then in a terrifying huntsman house. This level actually has some very fun chase sections running away from the hunter and his shotgun and ducking underwater to avoid his flashlight. The only problem with the level, and what I would call a bit of a nitpick, is that a lot of the rooms in the house are kind of pointless to explore. Sure, some have collectible hats, but some are just kind of set pieces, like the kitchen for instance. You can open the fridge and climb the table and the counter, but the solution was just to walk through to the next door. And the puzzles are very simple compared to later chapters in the game. And at number 3 is the school. Now this is a truly nightmarish location. A school where your teacher is a monster who can always find you with her long neck. The only children are not real and are bullies hell-bent on hurting you. But this chapter is some of the funniest Home Alone type traps that you have to avoid, and also features the new combat that Mono can do in the game that I liked, but I do understand people's complaints on the timing. This chapter has some of the most tense sneaking sections in the game, and the teacher is absolutely horrifying. I really liked a lot of the puzzles here, especially the chess one, and this is the chapter that felt most like the first Little Nightmares, so I can see it being a lot of people's favourite chapter in the game. And at number 2 is the hospital, and this is hands down the scariest chapter in the game. Wait, scratch that, it's one of the scariest levels in a game I've played. This part terrified me, and for good reason. They somehow give you a torch here, which is the only chapter in the game you actually get a torch or a form of light, while also making the whole hospital incredibly dark, so the torch lets you see a tiny bit, but not much. Pair that with some of the most terrifying enemies in any video game, these creepy mannequins that act like weeping angels from Doctor Who, that are stopped by you shining a light on them, but when you have no light in them or the lights are out, they move really fast, really creepy, and kill you. They are absolutely terrifying, and they're such a well done enemy. But this area also has the Doctor, who is climbing on the ceilings, and this was just so tense and so well done, and it's truly a masterclass in horror game design. There is so much creepy stuff in this hospital, and it's going to be hard for a horror game to create such a scary level like this. It was that good. But at number 1 is the Pale City, and this chapter isn't too scary. It does have its moments, but overall this is my favourite chapter in the game due to the incredible design and look of the level. You got to see so many areas in this level, and you get to really explore and see close up what the Pale City is actually like. It has the best looking areas in the game, with the rooftops looking absolutely stunning. The puzzles are also the best here, and I loved using the TVs to outsmart or sometimes kill the viewers and travel through them to get to new areas. The amount of detail in this chapter is insane. There was so much to look at and so much world building, especially if you listen to what the TVs are playing. I would say it's the longest chapter in the game and has the best platforming. I love climbing rooftops in video games, and here it was great, and they really showcased the scale of the game here and just showed how small Mono and Six really are in this horrific world. There's so many chase sections in this chapter, with my favourite being the Thin Man, as he was one of the most unique chases in the game, due to him being able to slow time and come out of the TV. This chapter is, in my opinion, definitely the best in the game due to the variety of locations you go to, has the best puzzles and world building for lore in the whole universe of Little Nightmares. I can only hope this isn't the last time we get to explore more of the Pale City. So that was my ranking of all chapters in Little Nightmares 2, an incredible game. I'll definitely do more videos on it, I'm absolutely obsessed with it, but let me know if you've played it. If you haven't, I highly recommend you have. If you have, tell me what your rankings are. I'm sure some of them will be different, like they were all great levels. There's a lot to like about all of them, but Pale City was number 1 for me. Let me know below, and if you enjoy the video, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.